Hey guys, before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that at any point in the comment section, I'll be answering any questions you have. There is a very large amount of information and experience that went into creating this, and there's a lot of little layers of interaction and defense that I really just don't have the ability to cover in a short video. As far as guard cancel goes, specifically, the string was built to be able to be it at almost every single point, and there's very, very small weakness points where they can guard cancel safely, and if they do make an attempt and they miss the timing slightly, they'll get blown up very often. And the way I build these things, it's so that you can easily convert off that catch. But if they do succeed, your Vegito, you suffer the least out of any other character because your neutral's amazing and you're comfortable going back to that little neutral for them spending a bar. You can always put them back in a Blockstring. Anyway, without further ado, here is the Master Blockstring guide that I've been promising.
Okay, what's up? It's Charmander. I'm still on my hiatus. I'm still not practicing or playing the game, but I decided that I'm going to put out the video today. I'm going to talk about the Master Blockstring. I'm going to tell you about all your options on block and how flexible you can flow in and out of this structure. First off, most important thing. This structure, just 5LLM, will base everything off that. So, first thing, let's look at a cascading options we have here and how it flows back into itself. Always good. Always a good option. It'll mix some people. Now here's the fun bit about that is you can technically mash on a 6M if you really know it's coming. So let's make this up a little bit with our next option. If you go 5LLM into 2L, that's going to frame trap, as we all know, and this is also going to frame trap. So the Super Dash will frame trap anything, like Vanish even. So they gotta reflect that. And there is a true mix here. Easy, or you could just delay the delay and get same side. But if you want the exact same timing, you can fake the cross up with JS. You want to use an assist to reinforce this, obviously, but these are going to be your options. Then, when they're like, okay, I have 6M and this crap to deal with, I'm just going to reflect off of 5M. That's when hits. And then they get in a real shit situation, because that then leads into this Blockstring, which is pretty much reflect proof. If they try to reflect and do anything, they pretty much are now facing a major problem in that they're getting frame trapped on the next follow-up, so they have to like double reflect. But if you just stop, then if you just stop on the 6S, then they're free to embed. So there's a lot they just have to hold there, and then once they actually hold that, you can call an assist like Tien, and then go for like a jump float. There. If you do like an IAD install, if you do a super jump install into your IAD, you then get mixed off that. And this all comes together very neatly off the 5LLM. And if you want to mess with people a bit, you can do 5L, boom, and then here's the 2L. There's your timing. Just Vegito lets you go in and out of his options very, very cleanly. Now, what if you don't know if they're a masher, you don't know if they like to reflect, and you don't know if they're just going to hold like a right-left? What if you just don't know if they're just going to hold it? There's a lot of different things we can work from here. If you want to just test them, is a very, very good thing, because if they're a reflector, then they are going to reflect out of that, and then they're gonna get smacked. If they like to try and beat you with Super Dash, they're gonna get smacked by the 2H. If they want to mash, you can mash with them. And if they're like a real good masher like Bardock, hey, we always got this. On reaction. So that's all well and good. That's all perfectly fine just to test them. If they like to jump back, then and then go into like true string that if you can. With an assist, you can even use it like a beam or whatever, it'll be fine. So you get a lot of options there. The next thing that we want to look at is another right-left recap. You cover that with the assist proper, you can hit them with another right-left option, and this all starts off with 5 LLM. So you have a frame trap in the 2H off of 5M, and you can actually confirm this by double tapping H, because if you do 2HH, nothing happens on block, but if they didn't block, or they were mashing, or if they were holding up or something and got hit in the small gap, then you can Super Dash after them. Let's just do... There's a timing for that, where if you OS with 2HH, if you wait the small amount to then go, you'll still get the frame trap. So, you can check against them getting hit by the frame trap, and then you can also set up the right-left mix. It's important to have an assist, like IKT and UI Goku here perfectly, because if they get hit by that, not the H, but if they get hit by the frame trap created by... It's nice to be able to confirm, and if they don't get hit, then the assist holds them and blocks them enough to be able to get that mix-up. Vegito's right-lefts require leading in with a frame trap, and then the mix itself is set up with a frame trap. So there's a little bit of fandangling there that you sometimes have to do. So it's important to hedge against them getting hit by these frame traps by your assist choice. That's why I choose the assists I do as a general rule. Jiren A was fantastic for these kind of things. Gotenks can be a little screwy, but these are very, very strong options to lead into. Next, we're going to talk about the options if doesn't... Hold on. But that physically is not possible. You're only getting the same side, which sucks. You just lost half your mix. Well, here's the fun thing about that, is if they're tall enough to block those off, then they're tall enough to get fuzzied. You're like, oh, what are you talking about, fuzzy, you're dead. No, they're not. That, within a 20 frame window, will fuzzy. And if you do... and you delay it by a couple frames, that's actually the same frame. That will hit within the 20 frame window or so. And it's really, really hard to block. It's important that you need a single hit assist to do this, and it's impossible to test on a bot, because they will block it every time. But if you do it to yourself, I promise you, it works. And depending on how good your assist is, Now, if they know it's coming, for sure, they just immediately after this, they block low. And that'll stop the fuzzy if you have just like a 25-ish frame, whatever, they immediately can switch. There is some weird window in which the block stun hasn't been applied yet, or something weird. But if they miss that small window and not immediately hold down, if they try to hold down a couple frames later, they're gonna get fuzzy. However, if you have an assist with a lot of block stun, like Gotenks or TNB, Kid Buu, etc., you can actually fuzzy any character in the game. Divine Honor proved this when he did a perfectly same setup, called it, and then he was able to ID fuzzy Gotenks. He did it to Bardock, he did it to GG Goku, you can do it to literally every character. And here's the fun part, is if you have that assist, and it's like, oh, this doesn't work out perfectly, and they're not tall characters, so they're not getting fuzzy, you can just delay very slightly, and then you're high. You delay the tiniest bit, and you're hitting high. So, if they were dead convinced that they're going to beat your fuzzy, you just change out the fuzzy for a normal IED, high, and you got them. And if they're a smaller character, just delay, and you got your cross-up, too. So it's a very, very strong tool to be able to max out, and it's important to have your block string just all woven into one series. So once again, we're going to go as an option if you want, or at any point, remember that you can just stop and then IAD L, and you can probably cross up. Remember that your save points are 5L, 5LL, 5LLM, 2L is a save point. You can do it at any point. Just stop. 5S is a save point, but you can still get the cross up. Yeah. So at any of those save points, you can just say, oh, you thought there was more block string? Nope. And then just go around them. Which is why Vegito can really function solo, even without the assist, by backing him up for these kind of special things. So that's everything coming into play. And the best part about all this is that if they choose to get hit by the 2M true because they were holding up, because they were holding reflect, or they were trying to DP, you actually have a mid-screen TOD with that. So, that's the Vegito Master Block String. That's how it all comes together. And we're not even talking about tick throws. If you want to talk about tick throws, in which I have a UI tick throw here, although I'm not sure if I can get it on my first try. It's a little tricky. UI definitely has a tick throw to set up there. But you have two tick throws leading into this whole thing. So, if they're just gonna anchor down and hold it, you can just get that tick throw off. And they can also threaten the 2M true if they're trying to beat the tick throw. So if you have tick throw, this whole block string becomes even scarier. And you also have the universal tick throw, which Vegito's very, very good at. Because it comes in a little later. You can easily frame trap with that and do a lot of damage. So, Vegito has a tremendous amount of options on block if you set them up properly and you string them so that they're all coming off the same thing. And then you 5 down there, my bad. So all of those are at the 5LLM that you built this off of, and if they are waiting for the 5LLM to decide what you're going to do, you can always take care of them using an assist or using the DR. So that should be everything. This is the master Blockstring that I've been talking about, that I've been building with, and I hope this is a resource that will be very helpful in the future. I did not go over these kind of mixes, because that's just an additional thing that you could, in my opinion, kind of gimmick someone out with. It's semi-reactable, and sometimes you don't really get the cross-up proper. But if you do have an assist, like Gotenks does have a proper timing for it, that can be fine, but I personally am more of a fan of the other stuff. So that's it, that's everything. I hope this has been informative, and thanks for watching.